welcome back to Y&R For Life, where we talk about all things Y&R related. We talk about what's going on, my predictions, what do I think's going to happen. Hey, we even talk about fashion on this show from time to time because I'm a big time fashion girl, so we got to spill the tea about that. If you're new to this channel, my question is, what took you so long to get here? And if you are returning, what's up? Long time no see. I missed last week because it was the US Thanksgiving. It was literally only 3 episodes that week. I mean, we had to, at least in Canada, we had to sit through the old episode of Danny and Cricket's wedding way back when. I'd be like, yeah, I couldn't take it. So I gave it a bit of a rest, and go figure, this week I'm sick. You know, these things just don't stop. It is what it is, right? But I am going to do my best, and I think we have a lot to talk about on this week's show. That being said, I am wearing the purple robe, and for whoever remembers, the purple robe for me denotes that it was something juicy this week. And I'm telling you, I was like, finally, they've done something. I mean, a little quirky and corny, but it's still, I was all into it. But we're going to get into that. Couple of disclaimers first before we start. If you don't want to know what's going on, you kind of want to get caught up on your own, this may not be what you want to see or hear, but I am so grateful that you are here. And if I happen to not mention something in particular, it could be because I plumb forgot, or it really just wasn't newsworthy, so I didn't bother mentioning it. Is what it is, nature of the beast. That's what I like to say. And lastly, if you do like this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, it'd be so kind if you hit that like and subscribe, and also the bell notification so that you don't miss a single video that I post here on Y&R For Life. Okay, so the beginning of the week, we saw Cain and Phyllis. I mean, Phyllis, she's like the wounded soldier, if you will, and you know, you all, whoever's been watching me, you know that Phyllis is my girl. But I don't stand for craziness, and she is trying to play this I didn't do it role for everything it's worth. But everybody knows that it had to be her. We can't blame Kevin because he is not on the show anymore. So who else is there, super hacker, but Phyllis? I mean, of course, Cain had a really, I don't know what you'd call it, poor tech team, why his software was so easily confiscated, but we won't delve into that. The point is that Phyllis is all up in arms because pretty much anytime Lily enters in the picture, Cain is sitting back like a little puppy dog where Lily is concerned. And Lily can say whatever, chew him up, spit him out, and Cain will still be there just laying in wait, And of course Phyllis is like, man up, man, what's this? Like, she can say whatever, and you're like, you're not getting the picture, and you gotta choose. It's either me or her. Phyllis, let's have a little conversation, shall we? No, it's never gonna be you. It's never. Now, I know in that episode, Cain says, it's you, Phyllis, but it's never going to be you. Never. So why, why did we have to go around this, like duck, duck, goose? It was just a waste of time. So yeah, you guys hit the sheets a couple times, whatever. He was clearly using you, and I don't know, were you like into that? I don't know. Like, how did you not know that this guy he was using you? Anyway, I mean, what didn't give it away? The fact that he was trying to get into your computer while you were in the shower and you caught him? I don't know, but whatever. So Phyllis allegedly, oh my gosh, Phyllis, come on. She allegedly has some sort of, I don't know, business idea that nobody ever knows about. I mean, the only business that she had ever had, and I could have appreciated it, was the Grand Phoenix. I mean, can somebody just give that back to her? Like, enough. So, anyway, she's got this new business idea, and he's like, look, I'm giving up everything to do with arabesque. I went to Victor. I tried to get him to buy it for pennies on the dollar, and he says he'll think about it. And she's like, whoa, what'd you do that for? He's like, I got nothing left, and it's not like I'm broke. I've got a good nest egg, and I'll be just fine until I create something new. And he's even saying, you know what, let's you and I go in together and, kind of make it big. But of course, Phyllis, opportunity lost, like poof, gone. And she's like, yeah, I'm not buying this. Like, you're insane. She even quoted the definition of insanity to him. And she's like, look, I don't get you, why you would do this, and I don't know what you think I did, and you keep going on and on about this, but I didn't do what you said I did, which we all know you did do what he said you did. But okay, he just wants you to fess up so that you can clean the slate and move on. But no, you just want to kind of needle him and kind of play this little I didn't do anything wrong act. So he's like, looky here, you know, even though I choose you, if you don't, fess up and say whatever, my patience is going to run real thin, real quick. And yeah, there would be no turning back at that point, which, whoo-wee, by the end of the week, did it not do a flippity flip and turn around. But we'll get into that. So yeah, that's pretty much Phyllis. And she was talking about Billy and Abbott Communications, which apparently they're supposed to have their grand opening. I think it's this week coming. I don't know. I mean, I would not hold a candle to the wind where that's concerned, because who knows? They could just push that back a good month for all we know. And this could just blither on like a Mariah story, like a niece story. Who knows? Okay. So yeah, that was Phyllis and Cain. Phyllis also had a conversation with Adam. You know what? We won't even discuss that because that really didn't go too much of nowhere. By the end of it, Cain had stepped in, and yeah, it was guns a-blazing. All right. So we also saw Audra. Audra is sitting back. And of course, she's pretty much out at Abbott Communications before she really started, because Jill don't want her there. I mean, you can't blame Jill. Audra has really paved the way for her demise all the time. She's, oh, Audra. Oh. There's very small moments where I actually feel sorry for her, just ever so slight. But then there's moments where I'm like, you know what, you deserve everything that you're getting, because you are doing all this craziness to yourself, and you think you're so slick to get away with it, but Okay, so Audra, she bumps into Sally and Billy at society, and it was this whole, well, sorry about your luck kind of thing, and, I wish you well. This is Billy. And she's like, I gotta go. He's like, no, you don't have to go. We can all have drinks together. It's okay. She's like, no, I really have to go. Enjoy whatever. So Sally turns to Billy, and she was like, did you have to be like that towards her? She really is hurting. I'm still going to try and push for her to be at Abbott Communications, because before somebody else scoops her up. Who's scooping her up? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. She is like, I don't know. Audra has already sealed her fate in like probably every company out there in Genoa City. So nobody's scooping her up. She's going to have to, her whole little vibrante craziness, that was a great venture that never went anywhere, but nobody's scooping her up. So, oh well. So Billy's like, hey man, you know what? Jill doesn't want her, so there's not really much I can do, and she's got the money, right? Anyway, so Sally, of course, is feeling bad for her friend, her little furrowed brow, and she's like, well, it's Thanksgiving because they're still on this whole Thanksgiving thing. And she's all alone, and I'm surprised not even Amy, even though they're close, like not even Amy has wanted to spend time with her. And again, Audra has done all this to herself. I'm just the messenger. All right, so sticking with Audra, she goes to um, Crimson Lights only to find Nate and Victoria, which, by the way, Victoria looked very nice. Her hair was good. Last couple of outfits, she's been all right. So, thankfully, stylist, you have been really up in the ante where she's concerned, because she don't look so homely anymore and so frazzled and just unkempt. But whatever. So yeah, she was looking all nice and glossy, hair like herbal essence. And Nathaniel, he was there, and the two of them decided to have a little coffee date, if you will. Like I said, Nathaniel is going to get with Victoria. They used to be together for a hot minute before, so it's very simple for them to get back together again. She doesn't have Cole anymore. He don't have Audra. So there you go. Well, Audra's like, oh, well, fancy meeting you guys here, and you're here with one of your exes. Da 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 da. Like both of your exes are here. Whee! And he's like, Audra, is there? I'm in the middle of a conversation with Victoria. Basically, see yourself off. And she's like, oh, well, they have their little conversations. She's kind of waiting in the wings a little bit. And then Victoria, she happens to see a message from Daddy-O where she's got to go. He wants to see her. So that leaves Nate open for Audra to toddle back over. So Audra's like, oh, well, Nate, what's going on? So now you and Victoria are a couple, or... Dum, dum, dum. What'd you do that for, Audra? What'd you go say that for? Of course you're going to set this guy off. So he's like, excuse me? Oh, no, 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 no. You have no right to ask me anything to do with my business. Oh, no, you lost that right. The time you decide to lie to me and straight to my face and all this, that, and the other. And she's like, I've apologized for this so many times. Like, how much more can I apologize? And he's like, look, even if I could accept your apology, I can never trust you. Nate, you are just as shady. Look at your crimes. Like, you know what I mean? Your sins they've been forgiven, but at the end of the day, you are not squeaky clean, No, not you. So yeah, Audra's like, this is crazy. And, obviously you're never going to give me another chance. He's like, you're about right. Okay. So yes, Audra is all alone again. And I guess, I mean, I'm not surprised. So 'tis what it is. Meanwhile, hop over to Victoria. Victoria meets Daddy-O, and Daddy-O says to her, he's got to book it off to LA. And she's like, what? Daddy, what? He's like, yeah, I'm got to go to LA. And she's like, when will you be back? He's like, oh, I'll be back in time for the Abbott Communications launch. Of course he is, because he's got to try and unleash whatever, day of reckoning for Billy and Jack, or, oh boy. So yes, she's like, Daddy, what's going on in LA? Like, you haven't said anything, and mom and I, do you need me to come to LA with you? Nope, 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 nope. Okay. So he's like, I'm just letting you know because you're going to basically be in charge of Newman while I'm gone. Oh, okay. So let's, before we get into LA, because that was juicy. Uh, Still in Genoa City, we saw Jack. Okay, so Jack, Diane, Kyle, whatever. So, of course, Jack and Diane, well, let's backtrack to last week. Over the Thanksgiving episodes, if you will, this is while Ashley and Tracy were there at dinner. Jack basically says he has an idea how to handle Victor with this AI program. And the way he, you know, thinks that things should happen is that they cease operations with Jabot. They'll somehow, finagle it like it's gone, but yet somehow undercover they're doing things, I guess, online, but they're shutting down operations so that the naked eye would show this as such. Of course, everybody in the Abbott household is like, oh my gosh, are you crazy? Diane is like, what? Which Diane looked very nice in her outfit. Too bad they kept her all week in this thing. Oh boy. Somebody said, why is it like winter time and they've got, it's not even winter really, but it's cold outside, cold temperatures, and she's there with a sleeveless dress on. Okay. It looked good on her. Her hair was done right. She looked good. So yes, back to Jack and Diane. Diane's like, no, this is craziness, Jack. What are you thinking? He's like, I know it's a long shot, but this is the only opportunity we'll have, so that Victor, he can't infiltrate us, is that we have to shut down. She's like, what if you lose Jabot and, everything that your father worked so hard for? He's like, it's a chance I got to take, but I can't let Victor come in and like try and wipe us out like this. In my head, okay, so let's just suppose you accomplish this. How are you going to basically return to operations to become a presence again? That's just, that is something. Did you even think about that? Because then if you come back to operating, um, again, Jabot in stores or what have you, wouldn't Victor just use the program at that point in time? Like, do you have to go through all this? I don't know. Just a thought. Okay, so yeah, he's like dead set on this. Moving forward, push forward to this week, Kyle, he was already in the process of shutting down operations. So Diane, of course, she is like losing her noodle, but at the same token, she wants to stick it to Victor something fierce. I mean, who doesn't, right? I like Victor, but he has his moments where he needs to calm down a good number of pegs. But that's only if time will tell. So yes, so Diane, she's so apprehensive about this, but she's still going to do whatever she can in order to help her family. Rightfully so. But poor Kyle, I don't even know if it's poor Kyle. This guy, before I get into all things LA, which to me, again, was the juiciest part of the week, but the other, I guess side plate of juicy was Claire and Audra. Okay, let me set the stage here. So Kyle, again, he's reeling over. Claire still, you gotta cut it out. But my prediction is that he will get back with Claire, but I'm hoping he doesn't. And I think it'll be because Claire is just going to use Kyle, and he's just so lost in puppy love that he'll do whatever she wants. Okay. So anyway, let's segue to Audra. Now Audra bumps into Holden at Crimson Lights. Huh. Can we just get Holden off the show? Is that possible? he is so shady. And, Claire clearly sees the shadiness at this point because his whole past is like kind of coming back to haunt him of his own doing, mind you, because what are you gonna go tell that information for? Like, are you nuts? Like, sure, you slept with Claire. Okay. But that doesn't mean that you know her, or vice versa. What are you gonna go tell all your little secrets? That's on you, Holden. Okay, so Claire basically was like, I don't know you like that. And yeah, and he, of course, like, I feel like you're pushing away from me. I feel like ever since you came back from LA, it's like it's not the same. Well, no, it's not the same, Dodo head. What'd you go and tell her this information for? Okay. So, anyway, while at Crimson Lights, who walks in? That would be Audra. Audra starts yapping her mouth off to Claire, and it gets to the point where Claire, I can't remember what she said, and I'm telling you, Audra did one, psh, smacked her something fierce on her face to the point where Claire was like, like this. I mean, the sound effects were great. It was so loud. However, Claire did not take that very lightly at all. And she's like, you never put your hands on me. Now, this is where I'm going to give Claire her props. No, you do not lay hands on me and expect that I am going to just take this and be okay with it. No, 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 ma'am, not at all. So then Claire ends up, whatever Audra said, and Claire just pounces on her like a cat and just on her throat. And of course, Audra's like, oh, oh. And she's like, is this what you want? You want the claws to come out? You want the claws to come out? And she just went on her throat. She's like, you never touch me again. You don't know. Like, wow, she almost pulled a page out of Nicholas's book where he's like, you don't touch me. Oh, so then it was, oh my gosh. She was like throttling my throat, Holden. And Holden's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What? No, 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 this can't go on. Onlookers are like, oh my. Nobody does anything. They just watch all this play out. I'm like, well then, okay. So yes, at that moment when she finishes getting her hands off of Audra's neck, she's like, I'm out of here. At that point in time, Kyle had just happened to walk in, and she was like right beside Kyle at this point on her way out while he was on his way in. And he's like, oh, what just happened here? She's like, get me out of here. So off he goes. I'm telling you, she could say anything, and this guy be like, okay, no problem. So of course, Audra's sitting there going, Holden, did you see what she did to me? He's like, what'd you provoke her for? You just went and laid hands on her. Like, okay. But you could see the rage, just the utter rage in Claire's eyes. And do I wrong her for that? No, because if anybody did that to me, I feel like I might just react pretty similar. Just saying. So, yeah, Kyle and Claire toddle on off. They end up at the club, which is where Jack and Diane were, because they took their little conversation from the house to the club. And basically, Diane's trying to talk him like, what are you crazy? Oh, I almost forgot. Why, within this time, I think it was within this time. Anyway, at some point in time, Jack had a conversation with Nikki and told her the whole story on what he plans to do. And in return, she's going to try and help Jack in order to not let Victor do anything with Jabot. Now, Jack ends up telling Diane this. Diane, I swear, like fire must have just came out of her head, her ears, and was like, are you kidding me, Jack? Like, you considered Nikki your best friend that you would like tell her this information? Are you nuts? Oh boy. So yeah, he tells her because again she's offering to assist. Of course, his wife, rightfully so, is cheesed off. So yeah, at this point in time, back to Kyle. He's not. He's more focused on Claire. Now their conversation was basically like it ended up being like they're going to work together in order to bring Audra down. So yeah, you can probably expect to see Kyle and Claire like Bonnie and Clyde, doing whatever nefarious things together in order to try and take Audra down. So all the best with that. Tis what it is. Alrighty. I think let me just make sure. Is there anybody else in Genoa City? No, I don't think so. So everything comes down to LA. All right. So Victor had made his way to LA. He confronts Matt Clark, who is still going on, I'm Mitch Bacall. Whatever. As Victor said, I don't care what you call yourself. So Victor's there, of course, to help find Noah. Let's take a half a step back. Noah and Sienna are locked up in what I believe to be the same room that Nick and Sharon were in when he was locked up in Nice. But okay. Why? Because the door hinges were still on the inside. It was like the same thing. Maybe they moved the lighting, but it's the same room. Okay. So yeah, Sienna and Noah are in there. They're having their little reminiscing conversation about how their affair started. And, Noah, she's too older for you. Too old. I mean, no, she's not. Bring back Allie. You didn't have to do this to her. For the love of Pete. What'd you do this? Noah. Oh, what a nit. So yes, they are talking about their relationship and how, he's just so into her and vice versa. Whatever. So I don't know if I guess they were on some sort of drugs. Maybe Matt gave them some sort of drug, sorry. And they've now woken up and it's how do we get out of this place? But again, all this reminiscing conversation was going on while they were locked up. Okay, so fast forward, Noah figures out a way in order to get out of the room. Shocker. He was like, wait, the bolts. Finally, how come your father didn't think of this back in Nice? Okay. So there's a necklace with like a lightning bolt on it that Sienna was wearing. So that's what he used in order to pry the hinges off. Well, when they finally got the door off, Matt and Burrow were standing there. Yeah. Okay, so let's just see the chain of events here. This was after Victor had already confronted Matt and whatever. He had offered to give him a lucrative amount of money in order to set Noah free, but that was a no-go. So yeah, now they found Noah and Sienna and trying to escape, and they cut this off at the pass. Let's go back again, half a step back. Nicholas and Sharon were trying to find Noah, and there was some homeless person who was there at this whole warehouse building, and he was like, for the right amount of money, I'll give you information. So whatever information he gave kind of didn't really help things, but whatever. So yes, of course, Matt and Burrow know where Noah and Sienna are. And they meet them there when they're trying to escape. So then Matt was like, basically, you ain't going nowhere. Here's what's going to happen. So yeah, and he flicks down this bag of what was allegedly fentanyl. To me, it looked like the candy rockets that I used to get at Halloween. But okay. So it was allegedly fentanyl, as I said, and he was telling Noah that you're going to have to get lit and on the drugs, take all of them. If not, we're going to kill Sienna. So then she's like, Mitch, you're not going to kill me. She goes, no, not me, him. So then Burrow points the gun towards them. So at some point in time, Burrow, kind of gives up his undercover and basically points the gun to Mitch, saying that he was under arrest for possession or trying to sell illicit drugs. And yeah, this time he's like, wow, really interesting. Like, what the hell are you doing? And then that's when Detective Annie, that shyster, she comes flying in. So she's the crooked cop. It ain't Burrow. And so now she points the gun towards Burrow. What a mess. And then Noah's there. I can't even reenact this for you. Okay, so like stage left, if you will. And Noah's standing there and Annie's right there. And in between Annie and Burrow is, of course, her pointing the gun. So then Noah's doing one of these all the time. And I'm like, oh, here it goes. He's going to just try and be like Superman and swoop in. And sure enough, he swoops in. She's on the ground. And somehow they escape. They fly back off to the shadow room. And basically, what's her name? Oh my goodness, I can't believe her. Sienna. I forget her name already. So Sienna goes and pilfers whatever cash she can, and she's like, we got to bounce. So there's a car out back. And my thing was like, hold on a second. You have a car in the back and you're stopping to have conversations here? You don't think of a bank machine, man? Okay, I understand that you're hustling, but okay. And then who walks in while they just run out the back? That's Mitch or Matt or whatever. Can we just figure out who it is? I know it's Matt, but like, can we just settle on his name? Holy jeez. So he flies in. Sienna, Noah, are you here? Would they say they were Matt? Would they say that they were here? Holy vey. So I'm like, watch this. All I hear is car starts and he goes flying off after them. I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. They're in hot pursuit to get away. And next thing you know, this guy's not far behind. How did he jump in a car to get that fast? They were already out. Okay, so she's driving. Noah's like, man, I'm so sorry. Like, I can't believe this is happening. Oh my gosh, like, this guy is like a maniac, da 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 da. And she's like, yeah, well, I can't believe this. This is the husband I married. Well, so at some point in time, while they, driving away and he's like, she notices. Within that time, Victor, he had already, I guess, he orchestrated that the same AI software program was going to wipe Matt out clean, that he will be broke. So he basically infiltrates his system with his little tech team, and he's trying to contact Matt to let him know, like, if you don't give up the boy, then you're gonna be broke. And he's like, oh, this is a joke. You're not gonna do anything to me. Like, you can't do anything to me. Whatever. He's like, I'm Victor Newman. He plays that card. I'm Victor Newman. You know who I am. You know what I'm about. So he's like, he tells Nicholas and Sharon, I'm in. My tech team got in. So then, anyway, while Matt's still after Sienna and Noah, Victor's like, yeah, basically you could say goodbye to all your assets. They're gone, because he already put in the call. What do they say? Wipe the bitch clean, or wipe the son of a bitch clean, or something like that. I'm like, okay. So then Victor did one of these. Yes. And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, that's how it's done. I was like, finally an episode where I was like, there's a little bit of action. It's a little bit of anticipation. Like, it was great. I was all in for the ride on that one. So, yeah, he's been wiped clean. He ain't got no money. I'm like, okay. So, they tell Noah and Sienna to pull aside into a public area, and then next thing you know, Matt just flies on by, and of course they're none the wiser as to why, but this is what ends up happening. So then they end up over back at the hotel room where Sharon is, and Nick and Victor, and oh hey grandpa, da 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 da. Sienna's there. Oh Noah, you're not too bright, are you? So Victor's like, look, Sienna, you and I go down to the lobby. The lobby? Oh my gosh. I'm like, did you see the lighting in that place? I'm like, what kind of lobby is this? Oh boy. So he has like his little interrogation, if you will, like, who are you kind of thing. And I understand this about you and my grandson and blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, well, what do you mean you wiped Mitch clean of all his money? And he's like, done. And she's like, that might, I might be in a whatever with your grandson, but, Mitch is still my husband. Oh, Sienna? What? Oh, my word. I can't believe you said that. Oh, not for nothing. He's still my husband. Are you still rolling with this? Okay. So then she's like, yeah, well, if he doesn't have any money, that means that I ain't got no money. You didn't think about this before? Oh, boy. Victor's like, well, don't worry. He'll be taken care of, if anything, blah, blah, blah. Here come Noah about telling his parents, oh, no. He had said to Sienna, you need to come back to Genoa City with me. You'll be safe there. Oh, what? Here comes the trouble. So, of course, that is when Victor had taken her aside. And then Sharon and Nicholas is like, son, have you lost your mind? What do you mean you want to bring this girl? Like, what are you crazy? And of course, they're like, well, what did Allie do? Allie didn't deserve this. Well, Noah's on this whole thing. He's got to contact Allie and kind of break the news to her. Can we just... I'm over this. I mean, I wasn't when that whole thing happened, but anyway, the long and skinny of it is that Burrow got away. I thought they killed him off, but apparently he got away. Annie is with Matt, and she's like, what's your next move? And he's like, oh, they won't see whatever coming. What that whatever is or something is, who knows? But yeah, it should make for interesting few episodes. So that was pretty much it. I mean, that was just so funny. Oh, before I forget. See, I should have said it earlier, but anyway, I started to say it, but I didn't. So yes, I'm going to say the last thing that was newsworthy to mention was the fact that Cain told Phyllis, no more. I am going to ruin you. Now I'm thinking, I go, no, no, not my girl. But he's like, yes, no, 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 no. You can't be honest. And I was so serious that I said that we could work together in order to build something. But now you wanna continue to cross me. I mean, oh no, no, no. I am going to finish you. And I was like, Cain, yes, because I am not up for this mess. I'm not up for this mess. Phyllis, like, why couldn't you just been honest? Yeah, I did it. Move on. Yes, Victor has it. Unfortunately, I wanted Jabot, which even Cain was like, you're not going to get Jabot. Are you crazy? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, okay. And Victor's never going to give her Jabot. Like, what? So she's living in some sort of la la land. I don't know. It I don't know where her brain is at, but no, you're never going to get Jabot. So that little pipe dream, it is completely over. So yeah, Cain was like, I'm done with you and I am going to crush you into the ground. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. So yeah, there you have it, folks. If you stuck around to the end of this video, I'm so grateful. I appreciate your time. And I love you a lot. And well, let's hope that this week is just as fun-filled as this past week was. At least I had a blast with it. Wednesday's episode was hands down my favorite in so long. So yes, if you do like this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and also the bell notification, and share, share, share. Why? Because sharing is caring. At least I like to think so. And we will see what happens this coming week. I will catch you on the next video. Bye.